Welcome to George Washington's Mount Vernon, which is owned and operated by the Mount Vernon Ladies Association.
Today, we're going to be taking a look at George Washington's Gristmill.
So join us for another lesson on the road.
On the fourth floor of the gristmill, you find these large storage bins. This is where wheat in its raw form would have been stored and prepared for its journey through the milling process. You will also find the hopper boy, which is one of the most interesting aspects of this automated gristmill.
The hopper boy is a flour cooler invented by Oliver Evans, which, like the rest of Evans's innovative design, is powered by the mill's water wheel. Ground flour is dropped at the outer reach of the hopper arm, where it is slowly pulled into the center. A hole in the floor allows it to fall into a sifter below.
Before this invention, this job was done by young men known as hopper boys. They would rake and cool the flour before barreling. This step was critical because if it wasn't done, the flour would spoil on its way to overseas ports.
The third floor of the gristmill contains two very important pieces of equipment, the rolling screen and the bolting chest. This rolling screen is basically a grain washer, separating the debris and the chaff from the grain seed. The unwanted debris is literally blown out the window of the gristmill. The bolting chest is a grain sifter. When the flour is cooled by the hopper boy up on the fourth floor, it falls here to the third floor into the bolting chest. It is then sifted into a fine flour and then falls to barrels waiting below on the next level down.
There are two sets of stones on the second floor. One set was for grinding corn, oats, barley, and rye, and the other set was for grinding wheat, Washington's cash crop. It takes two stones for grinding. The bottom stone that stays in place, called the bed stone, and the top stone, which rotates, called the runner stone. The grinding face of each of these stones was cut with a pattern of grooves called furrows. The crops would pass through these grooves where the furrows would act like scissors, cutting and grinding the grain into meal or flour. It was vital that these millstones stayed sharp, so about every month the miller would have to redress or sharpen the stones. The stones were also covered in these wooden pieces called mill furniture. The mill furniture wasn't for decoration, but it allowed the crops to easily pass through the milling process.
So in the last part of the tour, we find ourselves on the first floor of the mill. The first floor contains the water wheel. This is the powerhouse of the gristmill. The water wheel is powered by a millrace, which is just outside the building, which is just like a small man-made canal, about 6 feet wide, maybe 6 feet deep. It sends water into the mill that turns this giant wheel. When the wheel is turning, it can generate nearly 14 horsepower. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but the wheel is connected to an axle that runs through a wall that's connected to a series of gears and cogs. Each gear and cog add a certain mechanical advantage that helps this whole system run more efficiently. As Washington said, if there's rain and grain, this mill is running. You know, I had such a good time today. I'm really on the fence about leaving.
Yeah, but all good things have to grind to an end.
You see, that's truly a humorous statement because we were just talking about grinding grain.
I don't get it.
I'm not sure. Thanks for joining us for a look at Washington's gristmill.
So next time you're looking to do something a little bit historical,
A bit scientific.
And just all around nerdy.
come check out George Washington's Mount Vernon and everything it has to offer. That's Mr. Graham.
That's Mr. Gimby.
That's Mr. Raymond.
We'll see you next time for another lesson on the road. Welcome to George Washington's Mount Vernon, which is owned and operated by the Mount Vernon Ladies Association.
Sorry.
That's your line.
Yeah, sorry.
One amateur hour. It's amateur hour over here. You also see something called, oh my God, what the hell is it called? Hopper boy. You also find the hopper boy, which is one of the most unique aspects of this automated mill.
The hopper boy is a flour cooler invented.
The hopper boy, which is one of the most unique aspects of this automated milling. Oh my God.
The grinding face of It was vital that the millstones remained. It was vital that the, oh my gosh. Where a hole in the floor allows it to drop into the sifter below.
Before
Make sure you're standing out here, like,
oh, sorry.
waiting.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll
Let's go do it again.